This video took over 1 year to make. Yes, you heard that correctly. Over 12 months went into this video as I round out my series for the weekly dividend ETFs in 2025. Now, at the beginning, there were only 9 of these, and it was not hard to track. I would do a weekly video, and some of those videos got a lot of traction, with one reaching almost 30,000 views, a blockbuster video for my channel at the time. Now, since then, we have seen an influx of weekly dividend ETFs, some great, some truly horrible. We've also seen the rise and fall of a lot of weekly dividend ETFs, and I won't name names, but we'll see it on the list. Now, I want to round out this series and showcase my total returns for my portfolio of just weekly dividend ETFs. Now, mind you, there are so many currently that this portfolio is over $5,000 simply for YouTube. Yes, for YouTube, I put $5,000 in, but the time has come to readjust and talk about what I'm going to do in 2026. But first, let's see our winners and our losers. We really have come full circle with this video series. Now, I originally posted this on January 7th of 2025. So very early on in the year. It is not the first video in the series. It was week 14. So I'd already been tracking these for 14 weeks. But this one did amass 28,644 views. Pretty insane. For my channel at the time, that was amazing. I was sitting at under, I think it was 7,000 to 8,000 subscribers. So this really absolutely blew my mind. And it continued to launch the series. Now, we had 9 of these. So we have IWMY, QQQY, and WDTE. 3 funds by Defiance that no one really talks about anymore, and maybe we'll see why when we see my total return. Then we have Roundhill, QDTE, RDTE, XDTE, and YBTC. YBTC was added a little bit later, as was RDTE, because there were only 7 original weekly payers. Then we have YieldMax, YMAG, and YMAX, which for most of this series were the best performers. They would go back and forth, but primarily, YMAX was better. YMAG has pulled ahead recently, but we'll get to that. It is so interesting seeing all of these details back when we only had this number of ETFs that paid every single week. And people obviously really loved it, and they were interested in if this investment could be a good fit. But let's see how I started the video and how this series was going. We are back with probably the craziest week we've seen with the weekly dividend ETFs. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome in. I talk about all things investing, and we are tracking the weekly dividend ETFs in this account. There are 9. Now, I want to showcase, I am in the same house, but at the time I was living with my brother and my roommate filming YouTube videos in my bedroom. The bed was to my left over here, and there's a plant that is still alive, believe it or not. And now I live in the same house, but I am married. My wife lives with me, of course, but things have changed drastically, but the series continued. 9 of them currently. We've been tracking them for, this is week number 14. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot, and I'm super excited to see what it's going to do in the future. All through 2025, I will continue doing this challenge. So if you enjoy dividends, if you enjoy weekly dividend ETFs, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, there are a few caveats to this. We have seen a crazy influx of weekly dividends now. I mean, after YieldMax converted all their monthly payers to weekly payers, it pushed the number to like well over 200, I believe. So this account only had 40 to 50 in it. And that's because they were the originals, right? They were the ones that were trading first as weekly payers. And I did add in quite a few, including some popular ones. But we are going to see throughout this account how things rose and fell in popularity. We have things like Ulti that went from being a terrible performer to a weekly payer to a phenomenal weekly payer, up 44% at one point, back down to a, let's be honest, a pretty bad ETF. We've had other runs. YBTC did really well with Bitcoin and then sold off a little bit too. YMAG and YMAX have gone back and forth. We added blocks that went on a run. So much has happened in this year when it comes to the weekly dividend ETFs, and I'm really happy that we're closing out this series once and for all. We're back where it all started on MooMoo, and I want to showcase this looks like a lot, and it's going to be a lot, but I need some things from you guys first. So, 1, let me know if you've been a subscriber since my original 6,000 or 7,000. That would be absolutely amazing. Or even sooner than that as we go into 2026. And number 2, more importantly, how would you like me to do this series in 2026? I know I stated that this was the end of the series. It's only the end of the 2025 version. 2026 will be a whole different beast as we have so many of these now. Should I split them up by issuer? Should I do one long video? Should I do the top 10 best and top 10 worst of the week? How would you guys like to see it? I'm curious. You guys always give me the best feedback, so let me know. And I will be buying quite a few of these to put in my Roth IRA, mostly ones using leverage. But if you want to see that, you'll have to follow my portfolio YouTube account, which is a little bit different than this one that we're on now. But what we're going to do now, in order to showcase the total return and the percentage total return, so dollars and percent, because not all of these were close to 100 with the initial value, I put everything into a spreadsheet. And that's because MooMoo does not showcase the real your total profit and loss, including distributions, which, I mean, this is total profit and loss, but it's not percentage. So it's not really easy to understand because, yes, we're down almost $65 on MSII, but how much did I invest initially? Well, it was $103, but some it was lower. Some it was 90 or even 80 for some of these. So it does make a big difference. So I'm sliding this over. I made this. It took like 2 hours to make. Now, I'm not bragging because it would take someone who's really good at this stuff probably about 10 minutes, but here it is. So we have our green, which is our total profit and loss dollar-wise. Then we have our total profit and loss, and then I converted it to a percentage by just multiplying it by 100. So we can see with MSII, it is our worst performer. Initial value of $103.60. We lost $64, and that was a 62.25% loss total, including dividends, which is destructive. LFGY, we lost $37 of our original 106, which is a little over a 35.5% loss. Not great. Then we move on to COII, down $36. We lost 40.5% because I only invested 90 in this one. And that's why the percentage is very important and why it took me so long to do all this. With XBTY, we're down $34 and 34% because we're near 100. With IWMY, we're down $32.50, but only down 31%. There we go. With YMAX, I did have drip on for this one, so that's why it's not a whole number. We're down $29 or 26%. With RDTE, we're down $26.53, only down 19.93%, which is still pretty terrible. YBTC, we're down $25 or 25.4%. With QQQY, one of the Defiance ETFs, one of our oldest, we're down $22 or 21.28%. With ULTI, we are down $20 of our initial $63 investment. I don't know why it was only $63. I guess it's because fractional shares originally. Anyways, that's a 32% loss. This one was at one point very much in the green. Then we have BCCC. We're down $15 or just under 15%. With USOY, which was converted to a weekly payer from a monthly payer, we're down $14.7, $14.67 to be exact, and we're down 14.34%. With WDTE, we're almost to the green, guys. Hold on. This just goes to show overall hasn't been a good year. With WDTE, we're down a little under $14 or 16%. With YMAG, we're down $13 or 11%. With QDTE, $12.50 at 9.8%. Here we go. We're seeing green here soon. Now with XDTE, we're down $12.50 for an 8% loss. YETH, whichever, we're down $9.27 or 9.35%. With TSYY, we're only down $6.49 total, which is about a 6.4% total return, percentage-wise. Now we have SDTY, we're down 4.4, about the same, 4% in the red. GPTY, we're down $3.70 or 3.7%. With NVYY, we're down $2.86 or 2.67%. With blocks, we're down 0.9 cents, not 0.9. We're down 90 cents, and which is about 0.9%, 0.8 closer. With TQQY, we're down 0.1. We're down 1 penny, and we're down 0.01%. Can't complain. Into the green we go, and it's a much shorter list. RDTY, we made $2.76 for a 3% return. For MAGY, we made $6.50, and that's a 5.8% return. For YSPY, we actually made $7.51, which is a 7.5% return. Granite shares, let's go. Yield boost, here we go. QDTY, we made $17.81, which is a 22.5% return. I only put $80 into this one. I should have put $100 because it did really well. I should have known because I put less money into it that it would do better. With NVII, one of our better performers, we made $20 on a $115 investment, 17.4%. With Chippy, we made $23.17 or 22.35%. This one's done really well recently, but I did buy it before it dropped pretty heavily. And last but not least, our best performer of the non-weekly pay ETFs, these are weekly paying, we made $41.43 on a $94 investment in TSII for a 44.17% return. 1 year of data, and we're not even done yet because now we got to get into the weekly pay ETFs, and we had some huge winners in this group. Now for our weekly pay ETFs. So you can see this account has $1,800 in it. The other one has $3,300 for a total of $5,097. Now the weekly payers have been doing a lot better, but it's really just a mixed basket. The worst performer in the group is here, and the best performer of the group is here. So take a look at the spreadsheet. Now, starting off, we have our worst performer of MST. That is down $77 or 84.6%, including the dividends, which unrealized, it's down 92.4% because it's a 2x leverage of MSTR with options. It's like a recipe for NAV erosion, unfortunately. I mean, MSTR was doing great right before it launched, but holy smokes, it's bad. Then we have MSTW, another MSTR fund, down $63. This one is down 64%, which is a big bummer, but again, it's MSTR. We have NFLW Netflix down $43 or just over 39.5%. We have METW, that's down $22 or 21%. We have COIW down $12.30 or 16%. This one was at one point one of the best performers. It was one of the best. And then Coinbase jumped off a cliff. Then we have MSFW, the Microsoft fund, which is down $11 or 11%. We have AMZW, Amazon, down $6 or 5.61%. One more red, and then we're in the green, baby. BRKW is down $4.3, 4.3%. AVGW, Avgo, is up $15, 15%. TSLW is up $17.45. Not bad, $17.45 and a 22% gain. HOOW is up $18.73 or a 14.77% gain. NVDW is up $21.5, 21.5, and percentage-wise, we're up 27.4%. AMDW is up $27.44 for a 26.89% increase. Now we get to our big winners. Google, GOOW, is up almost $59 or 57.7%. Amazing. And the best performer in the account, PLTW, which is currently up $63 on our original $96 investment, now up 65%. But there's some bad news. Our total profit and loss in the portfolio we're down $17.79. So we almost broke even with the weekly payers, or the leveraged ETFs, I should say. Without MST, we would be literally well into the green. Oops. And that's a total average of 1.10% in the red. Now, if you're wondering what was our position on the other one, it is actually, it's worse. We lost $317.56, and we're down an average of 10.27%. So there you have it. Weekly dividends in 2025. It doesn't hurt any more than losing $300, but all in all, we did what we could. We made content, we saw what happened, we saw the winners, and we saw the losers. So if you guys are interested in watching this happen again in 2026, if my bank account can handle it, let me know in the comments. If you made it this far, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check these videos out that are popping up on your screen right now. See you in the next one.